Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. First, I want to just say quickly before the video starts, it will be shaky maybe when my hand gets tired because I'm holding it up and as opposed to putting it on a stand, the camera. And second, the neighbors seem to have a party going on, so you might hear loud noises from time to time, so just ignore that. The weather's nicer and it is what it is. Okay, so this video is just going to be a quick thing. I just wanted to go over a few things that I've learned and maybe they could help you along your journey. So, one thing that I did learn through the ups and downs of my journey and through failures and setbacks and progress is that you have to know yourself really, really well. And you have to be honest about your strengths, your weaknesses, and it's not bad. The strengths and weaknesses aren't bad or good or anything. It's just about knowing yourself, knowing what your triggers are, also knowing what your strengths are, knowing when you're not having a good day, knowing if you're emotionally drained, knowing if you're tired. That way, you can kind of prevent some of the mistakes that we end up making when we don't realize that we're either one, emotionally drained, we're just really tired, we have a lot going on, so we don't make the best decisions when it comes to our eating, what our meals are. We don't make the best decisions with our activity level. And then stress has a huge effect on your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, and all of the everything. So you have to know yourself fully. You have to accept your strengths, your weaknesses, whatever they may be, because once you know them, you're better able to work with them. So you're better able to work with your weaknesses, you're better able to build on your strengths and, be on the lookout for when something might not be completely right with what you have going on. So, for example, I know myself when I'm really tired or sleep deprived, like depending on what I'm going through or what I have going on in my life. I have some people who depend on me and I take care of a lot of things in my life. So sometimes my plate, not my actual food plate, which we're trying to prevent that from being really full, but my plate of life is really overflowing and full and everything seems to happen all at once. So I need to be able to check in with myself, check in and be really in tune with what's going on with me. Am I eating emotionally? When I'm really tired, I might make poor decisions or quick decisions when, let's say, I haven't had the time to prep or I haven't done any of those things that I need to do in order to stay on track. When you have a set think about like when you've had a set schedule or a set plan and you're organized. Things just naturally go better than if you don't have a plan and you do things on the whim. Now, it's fine to do things on the whim, like when it comes to other things in my life or being spontaneous, seeing friends, doing things with family, going to events. That's all great and it's a part of life. But when it comes to my nutrition, I need to have an organizational plan because that's how I operate. That works for me. So it might not work for everybody, but that works for me. So I need to have a plan. I need to know basically what I'm going to do, what I need to eat or whatever. Because for example, I'm fasting right now. I'm still fasting. It's Ramadan's over, but I am still fasting for I'm doing 11 extra days. So what's today? Today's Thursday. So I have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday left. So Sunday will be my last day of fasting. And it's been really good. I've gotten so used to fasting now. And I'm not saying this is recommended for healthy living or anything like that. This is fasting that I'm doing is not for health purposes. This is separate. This is a religious reason that I'm doing it, and that's totally separate from this. But one thing I will say, as far as the health benefits go, I feel better all around. I have great digestion. I don't have bloating. I don't have My skin isn't irritated because from making like poor dietary decisions. I don't have a dependency on food or thinking about food 24 hours a day. Not that I did think about food 24 hours a day, but when you're eating 3 meals a day or 2 meals a day, whatever you're eating, you do think about food. You do think about what your next meal is, your meal prepping or whatever. But with fasting, it's kind of so easy because I kind of just know that it'll be there when it's time to break my fast, and I break my fast around like, at this point it's like 9 p.m. at night. So I'm not thinking about eating or drinking at all throughout the day. And so I'm not having any drinks or food. So no water, nothing throughout the day, and no food. So by the time 9 o'clock rolls around, yes, I'm extremely thirsty. Oh, and you know what? That's the thing. The one thing about fasting that I find is that you don't know necessarily want to eat, you want to hydrate yourself. So you want to drink water, which is another thing that I've learned, how much water we actually need and how much we don't drink. So when I'm sure you've heard this before, like when you're hungry, like some of the tactics, when you know it's kind of not real hunger, it might be that you're thirsty or dehydrated. So the first thing is to have water before any of your meals, or at least have water throughout the day so that you're not snacking in between your meals, which you really don't need to do at all. So that's one thing I've learned, to be better in tune with my body, to be better in tune with my needs, to understand if I'm having a day where I'm really tired or emotional, and to be able to make better decisions as far as what goes on and what goes into my body, because that's super, super important. And it has to do a lot with your health and fitness, what you put into your body. I'm making a video. Give me a minute. Okay. So sorry about that. So I tried to signal with my hand like I'm making a video, but it doesn't always work out. So anyway, so the things that I've learned is to better be in tune with my body, to listen to my body more. And when you remove certain things out of your life, like in my example, like I've been fasting, remove food and drink. So I've been able to focus on other things other than meal prep, other than making sure I get enough water throughout the day, and realize how I operate. So there's been many times with this whole fasting situation where I haven't planned, like I haven't put aside my meal or I haven't prepared it. So by the time it comes for me to break my fast, I'm literally going to grab the first thing that I see, because guess what? I've been fasting since 3 o'clock in the morning, and now it's 9 o'clock at night. I haven't eaten or drank anything all day. So you are going to reach for a convenience food or something that's already in your fridge, which is why meal prep is so important. In general, meal prep is so important. It might seem tedious and annoying, but in those moments where you have things prepared, it kind of eliminates excuses and it eliminates time. When you're super hungry, you're not wanting to wait for the food to get ready. You're not wanting to sit there and chop vegetables or prepare something. You want something quick. You want something easy, which is why the fast food industry is so successful at pumping all this junk into our bodies, because it's readily available. It's literally, you can get in your car, go through a drive-through. It's cheap. It's readily available. And when you're driving, I'm sure any of you driving to and from work or going to work with the, train, bus, whatever, I'm sure you can count at least 5 fast food places along your commute to work or school or whatever you do throughout the day. And that's the thing. It's out there. It's convenient. And so people reach for it. If you had your lunch prepared, if you had your food prepared, your whatever prepared, and you had it with you, you're less likely to go reach for those or to go stop in those convenience places. Even down to your morning coffee. And if we're talking, yes, we're talking health here on this channel mostly, but it can really factor in with your finances and your health your stress levels, your finances, they're all related. So you can really be stressed out because of your finances, and it can affect your health. So it is related. And so if you take your morning coffee from your home as opposed to stopping in your local coffee shop or chain coffee shop or whatever, you're saving money. You could save $4 to $5 a day depending on how much you're paying for your coffee. And the same applies for lunch. Like here in New York, at a minimum, you can spend $10 on lunch, and that's not expensive considering where we are and whatever. $10 is, I mean, if you're going to a fast food place, maybe you're spending less, but if you're going to a regular place for lunch, a deli or whatever, $10 or more is what you're spending for lunch, and it adds up. If you're going to work 5 days a week, that's $50 a week. That's $200 a month that you could be filling up your refrigerator and your groceries with groceries and meal prepping and having healthy meals throughout the week. It saves time, it saves money, and it's better for your health. It's better for your financial health and your physical health. And your mental health because you're not broke. So basically, I've learned to really learn who I am, learn my strengths, learn my weaknesses, and that applies to any of you. You must learn your strengths and weaknesses in order to be able to tackle things that come your way. So I've learned that like this journey is not perfect for sure. There's ups and downs. There are good days and there are bad days. And then there are days that are just so challenging. And there are days that you feel like you don't have enough time in the day to do everything you need to do. And you're overwhelmed and stressed. But knowing yourself and being in tune with yourself really, really helps you to be able to better handle anything that comes your way. Because saying that everything's going to be perfect is really setting yourself up for failure. And I think that I tend to do that a lot, where I set myself up like thinking, oh, I'm going to do this, and in this amount of time, I'm going to do this. And most of the time I'm successful. And most of the time, I really do stick to things. But the problem is when something that's unplanned happens, which it does happen because life happens and things, you always get like a wrench thrown into your day, your week, your month, whatever it may be. I learned now to be able to better handle those unplanned circumstances, unplanned events, unplanned stresses, so that I can better be able to stay on track. I could better be able to make sure I'm eating properly, better be able to make sure I'm getting enough sleep, my activity level is good, and I'm not just sitting around or sitting behind a desk all day doing work. I'm very much aware now of what I need personally and what I need to be successful and what I need to feel good. And I think that's the most important thing. No one can follow a plan that makes them not feel good. No one can follow any routine that makes them not feel good. So this one point I'll throw out there to you is to evaluate your daily routine, evaluate your day-to-day things that you do. And then like really check in with yourself. Are you happy? Is your day-to-day making you happy? Do you feel fulfilled? Are you healthy? Do you feel good in your body? All of those things are important for you to actually say yes to. So do things that make you happy. Yes, stress is part of all of our lives, and we all have worries, we all have stress, we all have problems, but knowing yourself and knowing what you need in order to have some sanity and have some peace throughout your day and feel good about yourself, these should be like your stable what's it called? I don't know, like your foundation. Like make sure your foundation is solid. So if what you need for your foundation to be solid is to know, I need to go to the gym every day to be okay, then do that. If you know that you need to meal prep in order to not make bad food decisions or not eat something that's just there when you're tired or stressed, then do that. So knowing yourself is the most important thing and the most important part of the journey, because only you know what your strengths are, only you know what your weaknesses are, and at the end of the day, only you control the outcome of the results of your journey. And the best advice I could give, besides knowing yourself and knowing who you really are, accepting your weaknesses, working with your strengths, working with your weaknesses, is to really be kind to yourself. If you have a day where you don't do exactly what you wanted to do, you don't cross everything off of your to-do list and you don't have the most successful day, or you make a food decision that you think you shouldn't have made, whatever it may be, you didn't get to the gym, forgive yourself, be kind to yourself, literally move on right then and there. Don't dwell on it. Don't get depressed about it. Life goes on, and one workout missed, or one bad food decision, or one meal that's unplanned does not ruin your entire journey, does not set you back. But if you take that one bad day and bring it on to the next day and the following day and the following day, then yes, you can set yourself up for a major setback, as opposed to something very minor that's not even a thing to think about. So I'll leave you with that. That's my one little bit that I have for you today, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. You can like, subscribe, share my videos, and leave any comments that you want to, or feedback. And I look forward to seeing you guys again. Bye.